Hi everyone, my name is Dennis Cortez. I am a digital product designer who codes, teaches, and makes music. People tend to ask me a lot about how I stay productive. I just want to preface this video by saying, one, I'm probably not as productive as it may seem from the outside, and two, I want you to know that it's okay to not be productive, especially right now with everything going on in the world. I think it's okay to take breaks, it's okay to not be productive. Some days I have great days where I feel productive. Some days I do nothing and I just play video games or just watch TV or something like that. So it's completely okay to have days like that. And I just want you to know this is not like a productivity guru thing or anything like that. I truly don't want to portray that message. So just want to preface the video with that. So let's get into it. So one thing I've been trying to do lately is actually getting up an hour earlier than I usually do. So I've always been a morning person, to be honest, and I've been trying to get up an hour earlier around like 6 or 6:15 so that I have enough time to, one, I get to work out before work, and two, I get an extra hour to be able to work on my own stuff. So that's typically when I work on side projects, work on music, work on taste notes, trademarked, etc. And it's just nice to start my day with working on my own stuff. It makes me feel productive in my own way and gets me a good start for my full-time work. I know a lot of people aren't morning people, so I completely understand, and I would suggest doing the same thing in the evening instead. So maybe after work or before bed, maybe take an hour, even just like 30 minutes and just working on something that you've been wanting to work on, and do that a couple times a week, and trust me, it adds up. Something else that helps me ship things a bit more often is instead of trying to get things to 100% all the time, I'm usually trying to aim for that 80 or 90% where I'm not 100% happy with it, but it's good enough where I can ship it now and get it out the door and have it at least shipped, because I'd rather have something that I get out into the world rather than just sitting on it for way too long. And then a lot of the times I don't even actually put it out whatsoever. So something that helps my mindset is just trying to get to that 80 to 90% instead of trying to wait for that 100%. Another tip that I have is using your free time wisely. So I know this is hard to do, and trust me, I fall into not doing it as well a lot of the days, but typically when I have a couple minutes, like if I'm making coffee and I'm waiting for my water to boil, or I'm making food and kind of waiting for that to be done, I use that time to post on social media for some of the businesses that I have and for like my personal work, like these YouTube videos. So I use those breaks in between full-time work to be able to do that stuff. It just gives me time to do that without having to worry about it and set reminders and whatnot for myself. And even when I don't have anything to post specifically for that day, I try and make my drafts at least. Because Instagram doesn't have like post scheduling, I at least try to get a draft made and then have the caption already ready to go, and then I can just log on and post it right away. Like I said earlier, I'm a morning person, so that even comes with my weekends as well. I try to sleep in, trust me, I have tried to sleep in so many times, but I just can't do it. I actually end up waking up naturally around 7 o'clock or 7:30 on weekends, and because my partner, Dallas, she likes to sleep in, I tend to get up a little bit earlier. I can get in an extra hour or two of work, things that I'm trying to work on. Typically, I try to make it more of like something that's fun and enjoyable rather than like doing product design all the time. So usually that's when I'll work on my music or I'll work on album artwork and whatnot. And then sometimes I even use that time to catch up on freelance work. The next recommendation I have, I actually got from another creator. Her name is Jessica Hish. You may know her as a lettering designer. She's super talented, really good at what she does. And she actually came up with this thing called Procrastal working. I'm not sure if she was the first one to do it, but I thought it was interesting because when you're procrastinating on something that you need to do, instead of like doing nothing, you actually just tend to work on something else. So obviously sometimes working on nothing is a great thing to do if you need a break and whatnot. But a lot of the times what I tend to do is, just because my mind is racing so much, is I have an idea for something that is not what I'm working on right now. So I'll actually take some time and work on that, and I'm basically like procrastinating and doing something else. So that's where she got the term procrastal working. She actually wrote an article about it. If I can find it, I'll try and leave it in the description if you're interested. And the last recommendation I have for you is actually some homework that I have been doing as well. So it's actually a book recommendation that I have. The book is called Getting Things Done: The Art of Stress-Free Productivity, and it is by David Allen. So I'll leave a link below if you're interested. But you can search it up on Audible, Amazon, bookstores, and whatnot. It's a very popular book. It's been around for a bit. I actually just found it. I really love the way that he puts the mindset that you should have when it comes to productivity. There was a lot of things that didn't make sense to me that I kind of knew about, but the way that this book portrays them really helped me solidify it in my head and kind of helped me take a different approach to how I approach productivity. One of the main things is writing things down. If that's something that you struggle with, if you tend to leave things in your head, you got to think about that. You are using up your mind space by having things that you're not writing down. So a small thing that I recommend from that book, if you don't have time to read the whole thing, is literally just writing things down. I personally really like to use things. I also use Notion for my non-to-do stuff, like for my scripts that I'm working on for YouTube or project ideas that I have. Literally just writing those ideas down when you have them rather than just leaving them trailing in your brain is a big thing that can help you as well. So those are all the tips that I have for you today. If you have any specific questions, please leave them down in the comments below or hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at ShyBoyTM and I'll try and get back to you and we can have a discussion around it. Also, heads up, I did redo all my Patreon tiers, so it is now just $1 and $5 for either basic or plus. If that interests you and you want to get content early and you want to get exclusive updates from me there, feel free to check it out. It's linked down in the description, just patreon.com/ShyBoyTM. Hope you all enjoyed the video and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.